Okay, so we're going to start off this video with a couple points of reference for vibration. If we wanted a little bit more information before we just start setting up objects. So I'm on ifm.com, the US site here. This is always going to be changing, but we should always have links to real-time maintenance, whether it's up at the top or down here in the chart. There's good information if we go right to vibration here. And let's do product platforms and programmable edge controller. Will get us right to where we want. This is a pretty cool chart on selecting um, what type of monitoring you want to use. In this case, obviously we're doing a VSE, so I'm going to go right to the programmable edge controller. And there's a video, and there's a real nice little general rule of thumb chart here. We're going to pull a couple of these objects to monitor. We're going to set those up and get that into the software. One other point of reference would be there's a mobiusinstitute.com. These guys do training. They have a learning library. They have a lot of resources. If we had someone who wanted to do a deeper dive into vibration, Mobius Institute is a great company to work with. All right, so back into the software. All right, here we are. So I have clicked on objects, and there obviously are none, not a big deal. We're going to come underneath overview. We're going to right click and select new object wizard. In this case, I'm going to start with unbalance. Sensor 1 is the only one I have active. Let's call it, yeah, we'll leave this sensor 1 unbalance. Next, it's asking for unbalance, what we're going to use as a speed input. And we're going to use, because this actually isn't set up, it's just an example. We're going to use the constant, I'm going to use the constant speed here. We're going to hit next, it's a 1-to-1. These damage and warning levels, these are filled in by default, or definitely in regards to vibration. I mean, I would make it something big if you have your outputs tied to something already, so you don't shut a machine down if we're need to test a couple things out to begin with. So let's, you don't have to make it 20 and 10, but let's make it something that's not going to shut the machine down, because what we're going to do is we're going to collect the data, we're going to look at it over time, over cycle of the machine, and then we're going to decide on where those thresholds need to be readjusted. So we have unbalanced set up, that's set up, these are your limits, so we can come back and make changes to the damage and warning, and you're going to see these same tabs for all the objects. All right, so we did an unbalance. Let's do a new object, and we're going to do ARMS, sensor 1, next, 10 to 1,000, and next. These, I don't know why they fill them in with zeros, so let's make that 50 for damage. Let's make it 25 for a warning. Finish. Right click, new object. Let's do VRMS, sensor 1, 10 to 1,000. Next, at least it filled that in for us. That was nice, though it's still kind of low in my opinion. We'll make it 50, and let's bring this all together here. 25, finish. Let's do let's do a peak as well. Oh, we made an A peak and it just put us right there. Not too shabby. So you see that these three objects, just to run it by you, right? They don't have any trigger reference. It's only that unbalance, and then bearing monitoring. That'd be a separate video because there are some more intricacies to it. So unbalance, AMRS, VRMS, A peak. Let's see. Those would be the general ones that I would start with. All right. And we set up our limits. So we have these objects set up, and It has not been written to the VSE yet. So like anything else, I'm going to go right up to write parameters to the device, click on it, and hit yes. We're going to get this warning that pops up. That's not a problem. And now that I have these parameter sets written to the VSE though, we'll notice that, oh no, my A peak went into alarm. But we'll notice that all your LEDs on the VSE are no longer flashing on and off, on and off. Uh, we only have the sensor one LED in my case. It's red, which just means that I have to adjust the limits because it filled them in as 0. And that would definitely do it. So let's make this A peak is a little, because its peak is more sensitive than the rest. So let's make that 175 for the warning. We'll write that parameter set to the VSE. Yes, yes, yes. All right. Are we still in alarm? We are. Okay. Well, then let's check out what is that value. We're going to click on these 3 dots up here, and we're at 127, 112. Okay, that's fine. Then let's make that adjustment. Say 250, and it's just sitting there, and there's nothing going on with the accelerometer, but it's looking at the whole frequency range. So I want a warning at 200. Let's write that again. Yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. Bing, bang, boom. Everything is in the good for now. Cool. All right. And this will be the end of the object setup video, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks.